Welcome to Maths Bridge. Let's learn Java programming. Folks, please do visit us at our YouTube channel Maths Bridge. I think you are already subscribed to the channel. If you have not, please do subscribe the channel and then support us. Thank you and then happy learning. Here is our today's agenda. In today's session, we're gonna see main method in Java as a static. Why we're defining method as a static. We can also see predefined methods and then user defined methods, to display a string value, passing a string to a Java method and calling methods more than once. We can see that experiment too. We also see you're gonna see like a Java method overloading, because this is now one of the objective oriented feature which we can see in Java. You might heard that in C++ too, though, like passing int value, passing double values to the same method name, but signature is different. That's short. Okay, and then the case 5 where we can see how methods can return results back to calling method. Alright, this is what you're going to see. To illustrate the concept of methods in Java, we see the 5 simple example programs, sample programs. Okay, let's look at the first sample program. We have seen previously though, but let me recap one more time. Java Learning is a project name which we created in Workspace, right? And then under SRC we have the source code, and then we created a package name. Under package name we have all the source file in the sense like a .java file. Okay, whenever you open the source code, you see the first line is like a package name. That means like this file is belongs to that particular package. Package is kind of like a folder structure. Okay, next thing is like every Java file should have at least one class. For our instance, if we see, this is a class name. The class name and file name should be the same in the sense like Java method demo, including case sensitivity. And then class name should start with uppercase letter. So Java method demo is what the name that I have also used for the name of the file. Great, that's good, right? Next thing, for the Java applications to run, we should have a one method as in a single point entry is called a main method. So you could see this in both, let's say a C programming language or C++ programming language. Likewise, we have in Java. But the difference in Java is you have to define, main as a static for the context of visibility, right? Public static void main with arguments. So why do you require to create a static for the main method? That's a topic of discussion, right? So when we compile this code, right, what we have to say that JavaC is a Java compiler which takes the Java file and then convert it into bytecode. Bytecode is a platform independent code. We agree? So JVM basically helps us to run this bytecode on the hardware platform. It takes care of the responsibility of how it is actually interacting with hardware, but it creates an abstraction for us. So write once, run any platform, right? That is a kind of like the message that we have with the Java. Correct. So we have to recall one more concept called class versus object. Java is known as a object oriented programming language, that we know. What is mean by that? By simple way we can say, when you say Java file, right, I mean class means what is kind of a template where we have a data members and member functions encapsulated together into a unit. Right? We can discuss more about in the when you are creating a class and objects, but just wanted to you know familiarize with the topic of like what is meant by class, what is meant by object. So what I can also say a simple example. Let's say like you are trying to building a house. What you do first, you have to just prepare a plan, house plan is kind of template, means like a diagram on the paper. So that's not real, right? Really, right? That's all kind of a template form. When you started building a real house on a ground as per the plan, that's what we can say like an object. In your colony, if you are trying to create like a 10 of instances of the same plan, then you can say like those are the 10 objects in reality. So something similar here also, right? When you create a class is called of a template, but when you create an object, instance of the class is nothing but an object. The minute you create an object, actually memory getting allocated for that class data members. That's an idea. Okay. Story in short, what I'm saying is that accessing data members or methods, you require a instance of the class object. But in case of main, Java JVM is not expecting to create a instance to call a main method. So the how do you solve this problem? It is gonna solve by defining you know uh, static specifier. When you use like a public is a access specifier, static is a scope specifier. When you made like a static to the main method, then main method uh, you know uh, visibility of the main is actually in the context of a class. The minute that you created a class, and then this also kind of like an associated with the class. So how do you gonna call now outside of this class name dot main is how we can use. So the visibility is because of public, because of the public you can access this main method from outside. But because since you actually declared as a static, that means like instead of instance, now you can use class name dot main as a calling specifier. So in a nutshell, a Java virtual machine can call it without having to call instance of the class, and hence main is a static in the Java. Are you clear at this point? That's good. Now let's look at a concept called a method. Okay. In the main, that what we use like a system.out.println, and then to print this text message, this string, right, on the console. So the idea here is that what this means is that this is also a method, but this is like a Java provided predefined method. So the definition probably elsewhere, but you are calling that method by stating system.out.println to display on the console, isn't it? This is a Java provided method. So you are keep calling this method as and when you need it, right? Similarly, you can also create a method is known as a user defined method, right? What I was trying to do is similar to the main. I am I am trying to actually mimic the functionality by stating static void display with the printf statement, right? Since I am not interested to use the instance of the class, so I am using an example static methods, both main and then display. But the static void display method, you know which I am calling from main method. So let's say like I am trying to call three times, thrice. So I would expect the control always calls this method and then prints this message. If I compile this code and run it, see what happens. I would see like three statements on my console, isn't it? Right? So same method but calling repeatedly, right? That is a kind of a demo that I am trying to you know depict in this example. All right, now let's move on to the next example, where I am trying to send a a text as a text means like a string as a parameter to the method, so where I'm displaying what are the message that I'm sending, right? Previously I didn't have like any message as a passing parameter, but now I'm trying to actually send a message from the main to the a display method, right? How we are going to do? So the signature got changed now. So string s name is what I declared as a variable name, and then I'm printing the same variable name in system.out.println in line number 7. So this is the method. So now I know this method accepts a string variable, so displaying the string variable in the line number 7 upon invoking, right? I have a display three times. I'm trying to call, means like I'm trying to invoke display method to print these messages. The first time passing hello, second time I'm passing like welcome to, third time I'm passing Mathspeed. So I would expect hello, welcome to Mathspeed in separate lines, because println prints the console message sequentially, right, by introducing a new line character. So let me run this one. Do you see? Hello, welcome to Mathspeed. So this means that you can pass a string as an argument to the method. That's what I'm demonstrating with this example. Let's now try send two integer parameters, means like integer values as an argument to a method. So if you can see, I added a method called static void add, and formal arguments, right? Int number1, int num2. These two actually a passing the variable, right? Formal arguments. And in line number 6, what I was trying to do, like add them together and then display, right, along with the text message. That is how this is. Like plus means like a concatenating two strings using this method, println method. Okay, now look at the line number 18. I am calling this method by stating add, passing two values 2 and 3 to it. So num1 to num2 3 is, this is how it look for. Compiler maps according to their signature and then function names. So let me run this one now. So since I'm not seeing any errors, so I think I'm good to go with like execute this program. So let's run it. Do you see now? Yes, absolutely is good. So add int values, and then whatever the value that I'm passing through this function will be added here, right? So 2 and 3 is what I am passing as a arguments to this function, and hence I could see add int values 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. That's good. Let me add one more in a method similar to it, but this time I'm going to handle float values, right? So everything is like a duplicating, but except the signature, like a double num2, right? So what I would do, right, I am going to add this same method but passing double values. So do you see what this means? I'm using like a same method name, but passing parameters are different. Previously I'm actually using like a integer values to to be sent to this method. Now I'm using like a double values to be sent to this method. So the idea here is that if the function names seems same, but passing either the passing parameters or the return type is variant, any single variant in a signature of a same method name, that is a concept called method overloading. Method overloading means method name seems same, but signature, right, is at least a single variant in signature. Signature means arguments to be passed as an input versus like the value that is that particular function returns, right? If you look at in these two cases, you know both are like a static void add, static void add. Names, return types are same. However, the input parameters passing to these methods are different. One case is integer, other case is like a double. So that means this treated as like a different functions, though the function name is same. That's the concept called function overloading. If I so sounds good actually. I'm not seeing any compilation error, right? So how do you say that? If I can actually take out this semicolon, you see compiler catches the error and then warn you. So what you do, like it is suggesting me to actually say that, oh yeah, okay, it is very nicely syntax error, insert semicolon to complete the statement. So it's suggesting me, so I will fix it. See, automatically done. Let me run this one now. Great. See, I got the same messages. Next case, what we're gonna see, whether we can actually return value from method rather than actually printing the value inside the method. Yeah, certainly we can do that, right? So what I would do now, I will take out this statement here and then let me put here. What I will do, like I will call this method inside the my system output. That means like the minute the system out executes, what it will do is like it will first call this method and compute it, and then return value is gonna print in this line. That's the whole idea. Okay, let me copy this method again. I think we are getting a compilation error, but we'll fix them. That's not a big deal. Okay, this is how we can make a changes. So what you think now, these 2 3 add, okay, where we have this one, right? What I am going to do now, I will add them, right? Return and num1 plus num2. So the reason for actually prompting this error, because we are trying to return, but the signature says this void. Void means you are not returning anything, right? So I will make it like a int. The reason is like I am accepting two integers, adding the integer. So sum is always an integer. So integer is what I am going to return back to the caller. So now you see 24, line number 24, I don't see any error. Similarly, I can do here also. Now it has become like a double, right? What happens? Okay, typing mess, right? Then I will use this here itself because of same. And missing semicolon, done. Do you see? No compilation errors, right? Save it. If I can run this Java application, I should expect same output. Do you see? Very nice. So what basically tells me that, okay, I can create a methods, I can have a function overloading concept implementation as well. I can pass string, I can pass integer, I can pass double. I can also think about a kind of method overloading concept, and also I can see like how methods are actually sending return value to the caller functions. This is called Java methods. And then we also see in like two types of methods. One is Java provided methods. Second part is like user defined methods. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, click on bell icon and leave the comments. Happy learning. Thank you. Stay tuned to upcoming sessions.